Well, hello again, everyone. This is the first episode of the Robby the Robot movie poster edition from Forbidden Planet. As you can see, I'm starting with putting the parts together in sub-assemblies, and without further ado, let's go through each one of them. I started with the this midsection, basically the upper and lower half of his body, and I made sure I got that all glued down, as well as his chest plate and the voice tube panel support on top. Like I said, it's a Mobius design, so very good fits. There is a slight seam line there, which I've already started to sand down and smooth out a little bit. Like I said, later on I'll go ahead and fill in the gaps with some filler and putty, but right now this is basically the initial steps I'm taking just to put them together. So as you can see there, the next thing I did was to go ahead and start assembling his lower half, his legs. Again, the only thing that we have to kind of deal with is basically the seam line going down each side of his legs here. Other than that, very good fit, and it's coming along real nice. Same thing with his foot bases for his left and right foot. Two-piece part, kind of glued together. And you can't mistake the right to the left because the slots actually indicate where it needs to go on the both sides of his legs, so can't really mess that up. I also started working on Altaira. The first one here, we'll take a look, is her head. Let me move the light down a little bit. This has a consistency of 3 pieces: the face, the hair extension, and the back part of her hair. So we went ahead and took care of that, got that all glued in place, left that sit overnight. But it's really nice design of the face there, very detailed, very pleased with that. So I don't know if we can bring it a little bit closer. There you go. Alright, so her face is done, and I went ahead and worked on her legs, got those all glued up. Like I said, the only thing we need to do is the seam lines going down. We'll take care of that later once we get her all put together and stuff like that. But that's one of her legs there. Here's her other leg as well, all glued, ready to go. Like I said, another little seam line coming right here we'll have to take care of. I kind of got the arms mocked in there because I just want to make sure, since this is my first kind of figure, I want to make sure all the parts are going in there correctly. So I got these all dry fitted in, and then I went ahead and took the head and put it in there just to make sure everything has a good fit to it. So there she is. So I think we can go ahead and move on. So like I said, this is about where we're at right now with the build. Stay tuned, and we'll see you in a little bit. And we're back, and I just want to kind of show you where we're at this point. I went ahead and took our sub-assemblies for Robby the Robot, and I kind of put them together here for you. So basically we've got his midsection, went ahead and glued that onto the legs, and then I went ahead and put the foot bases on the lower part of his body as well. So that's all glued and in place, and we're ready to go. I went ahead and also put on his left and right arm bases, as well as the right shoulder at this time. So that's all glued in as well. Like I said, the next step will be to actually start sanding the seams down on the 2 sides of his legs here, and we'll be putting in some filler. What I'm going to be using this time around is I went ahead and purchased the Vallejo plastic putty. So that's what I'm going to be using for this build to fill in all the gaps, because it is acrylic, it's water based, so it should be pretty easy to apply and sand down afterwards. So this is where we're at right now for Robby. I'll do a quick little 360 here. You can see if I've already started sanding down the seam lines for his upper and lower torso on there. I'm basically using a wet sanding for like the 320 grit to start off with, and then I kind of go with 400, and then maybe up to 600 later on as I do the build process. So like I said, this is where we're at right now for Robby. I also went ahead and put all the parts together for Altaira. So she is complete now, glued together, and same thing. I'll be using the filler putty on any kind of a gaps area. I went ahead too again and sanded all her legs and arms and her torso with the 320 grit for wet sanding, and then kind of went back with some 400 grit just kind of smooth out some areas. This is where we're at this stage. The glue that I've been using, I kind of used two different types of glues. I'll set her off to the side for right now. For the bigger areas, I kind of use the Testors liquid cement, this variety, and then for any of the like doing Altaira, I use the Tamiya extra thin, just to make it nice and clean as far as fitting the parts together, and so I don't mess up her figure as with the Testors liquid cement. So these are the two cements that I've been using. So just kind of want to show you that. But anyways, this is where we're at, and stay tuned. There's more to come, and hope everybody has a good day. Thanks for watching and subscribing, and we'll catch you all later.